She drives me crazy. She's the apple of my eye, 'cause she is my girl, and she can never do me wrong. If I dream too much at night, somebody please bring me down. Hey, I love that little lady. I've got to be a fool. Ain't no other than my baby. I can break the golden rule, 'cause I get down on my knees. Ooh, I pray that love won't die. And if I always try to please, I don't know the reason why. If she would come back and only stay with me, oh yeah, every little bit, every little bit, every little bit of my love I give to you, girl. Every little bit, every little bit, every little bit of my love. Oh, hey. Dawn. Wow. Hi. Cousin, I love you. Matt Rawlings on B3. I'll tell you a story about. Yeah, Matt. I don't have to go by plane. I don't have to go by car. People, I just don't care where my darling is. I just don't care how far. I'm gonna crawl. I'm gonna crawl. I don't care if I have to go back home. I don't care where I gotta stand to get to you. I'm gonna crawl. I'm gonna crawl. And I'm gonna move the car, baby. I said she gives me good loving. She gives me good loving. Oh, she gives me good loving. My baby. Troy Lampkin's on bass. Ooh, yes, I love her. I guess I love her. Yes, I love her. I'm gonna crawl. You can't lower it. 11. We're at 11. Hi. We're at 10. We were at 11 for just a second. Hey, Mama Grace. So that was a fun recording. That's off my first record, Under the Influence. And Matt Rawlings, who plays piano on the record, when we walked in, he said, "Wow, you have a B3. I didn't know you had a B3." And Cookie goes, "Will you play it?" He goes, "I don't really play. I have one, but I don't play it very much." He plays, he plays accordion. So does Cookie. But on this tune, that's a Robert Plant tune, by the way, called "I'm Gonna
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Marianne. And so when it got time to do a solo, we both thought, Matt, on B3. And he, at that point, said, I've never recorded, let alone soloed. I've never soloed on a B3 before, on a recording. But then he did. Marianne Johns, Victoria, Mutterly Love in the house. Brad Vandermoor, how are you? I see my cow every day, and it makes me smile. Thank you very much. Love for you to be on the show sometime. And Vicky, I would love for you to be on. Hi, Lisa. I would love any of you to be on because you can all share something spectacular that you do. Speaking of spectacular, tonight I was with Mama Grace today. We had a wonderful day. We cruised around from here to there and over there. And hi, Mark Albers. Art Gompers in the house. Hello, my friend. Hello, Dorina Dunning. Thank you very much. I was just about to say what I did this evening. So I've been pretty much quarantined and definitely sipping. Sip, sip, sip. Sip on some water, sip on some wine. By the way, I didn't win. Those of you that shared, it's cool. Not really, but it's cool. But the song still happens. Sip on some water, sip on some wine, but please sip at home. Hello, Mark. Tonight they had a impromptu memorial in front of Glassworks, where Jerry Catania and Kathy created at the Hinckley Building 20-some years ago, 25 years ago. And it was, everybody was social distancing. I have not done anything social at all. And it was lovely to see Dorina and Kathy and Bob, and Lillian was there, and Lillian hung out with Kathy, and you just wanted to do something, but I either do, this is me, the bow or this. I did a couple elbows from afar, and then they projected "Thank You, Jerry" on the building, and I was so happy to be there tonight. And Lillian was so happy to be there. And Kathy and I are going to go walking because Jerry has a dog, they have a dog named Frida. And Frida and Lillian are going to probably not like each other very much, but Kathy and I really like each other a lot. So we're going to go walking. But it was beautiful. It was, hi Chuck. That dress is still in the window. What if I try it on and it just might not be the dress for me, but it sure is cute. Anyway, thank you, Dorina. I loved it. I loved every minute of it, and it felt good to be a part of, felt good to be part in the desert. Sorry. Welcome to my brain. There's a song in it all the time. I have to stop myself because I'll be sitting there and someone will say something. Boston, how are you? What's going on? I've heard tornado warnings, tornado watch. Surreal. Totally surreal. Oh, you want to see my tulip? That's the end of the tulip. The candlelight is making the clouds in your picture look like, I know, right? Well, because last night, I'll tell you, that thunder and lightning, I loved it. My dog, on the other hand, it was like I owned a vibrating bed. She was like, I don't like this at all. It's raining cats and dogs. Well, I heard there's a tornado watch. So you're safe. Keep me posted. I'll keep everyone posted. I know Kerhonkson, where Rolf lives, there's a tornado watch or warning. Does the watch mean? I forget. See, once I moved away to earthquake country, I forgot about tornadoes. Right, I know. Well, that's Lake Michigan back there. Oh yeah. Well, do you own a dog? I hope not, because Lillian she just doesn't like it. But anyway, incredible day, surreal night, and then they took a photo of us, and we all stood on these, and they didn't mark it because there were marks in the sidewalk, and everyone stand at a corner, as much as you want to be like this with people. Hello, Melanie. Like this with Melanie. Thank you very much for last night. Last night was awesome. And if any of you saw the jingle, I posted it right at 11 o'clock tonight. Maybe I'll do that. I get to do whatever I want because I'm the producer and the director and the film person and the lighting person, and I do the hair and I do the makeup and I pick out these fancy clothes. That was really fun. She'll be back. Hello, Kimberly. Tonight we have a special guest. He's been here before. He's cool. And I get to call him my friend. And his wife is my friend. And they have 2 dogs that Lillian scares. But when they walk together, they're all good. And his name is Mike Geary, and he is the mayor of St. Joseph, Michigan. That's where I am. That's where I'm sipping. Sip on some water, sip on some wine, but please sip at home. So he's going to be here in a sec. I told him I'd call him around. Hello, phone. Ooh. Hi, Suki. Wow. Bay Area in the house. Bay Area representing. Coast to coast. So, Bill, raining cats and dogs, how's the wind? What's going on? Keep us posted. And be safe. So again, does anyone know how some people I get to wave to, like I waved when Melanie came, oh, wave to Melanie, oh, wave to Bill, but then other people, I can bring them on camera, but not everyone. I can't bring all of you on camera. You love fires? I do too. Well, I love fires, but I love fires that I can contain. Like, hi there. Yeah, I love a candle, or I can blow it out and then it's all good, or a fireplace, but those other fires? Hello, Mr. Isom. Nice to see you, sir. I love seeing your name. See, Mr. Isom, I can wave and bring him on camera. Crazy question. Were you at the St. Joseph McDonald's this afternoon? Yes, I was. I think that's why I moved away from here. Because I was related to everyone. When I was a kid, I would come home and my dad would go, so, how was Grand Mirror Beach last night? And I'm like, Grand Mirror Beach? What are you talking about, Grand Mirror Beach? I was at Sue Ellen's house. No, I was at Grand Mirror Beach with my boyfriend. Or because I was related to everyone, and yes, I was there. Were we in line at the same time? Gracie loves, where's my McDonald cup? I have a McDonald cup from like 1906. Oh, your hair was great. Your hair was great. Gracie loves McDonald's decaf, senior decaf. So we stopped and had a senior. I get her a senior decaf, and then we went across the street to Dunkin' Donuts, and then we cruised out to Watervliet, and then we were in Baroda, and yeah, we had fun. We just drove and drove and drove. And then we went and got gas, and then we came home. And I sat outside in the sun. It was foggy, crazy foggy. And Dawn, next time you see me, say hi. Yo, beep, 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 beep. Thanks for being here. So tonight, the mayor. Tomorrow night, Gary Lambert. Sunday night, Cookie Marenko. Hi, Anne. Oh, good. Yeah, there's a reunion. There's a Bay Area reunion going on right now and a St. Joseph reunion going on. And Bill, if there was other people from Boston on, I would tell you, but I don't know anybody else in Massachusetts right now. But my cousin's here. There's always a cousin here. There are a couple tonight, but literally growing up, it wasn't the cousins that would say things. It was my aunts and uncles that would be, yeah. Tonight I watched Ricky Lee Jones. She did a show from Ricky's living room. I'm doing well. In fact, Aunt, we drove by your house today. We drove by your house. We saw your dad's Cadillac. You ought to know by now. Telling you. There's the mayor.
Hello.
Hello, Mayor. How are you?
Good, Jenna. Doing well.
What's happening?
Just relaxing on a nice, beautiful evening after the rain came through.
Crazy. And then the fog today.
Oh, I know. It was a mess. But last night we enjoyed the thunderstorm.
Well, I enjoyed it. Lillian, not so much. Are your dogs okay with it?
Stanley can't stand it. Rosie slept right through it. But no, Stanley was shaking like a leaf most of the night.
Yeah, we were up till about 4:30. Because then it would chill out for a while, and then all of a sudden, like the lightning was like...
Oh, we slept for a while. We went upstairs, slept up in the upper deck, up above the bed, up above here in the back bedroom, and watched the storm.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It was fun.
It was cool, but I said it was like I had a vibrating bed because Lillian was just not... And she knows before it starts.
Can he sense electricity or a change in air
Something.
pressure?
She knows like half an hour before she's looking around going, Mom, not cool, not cool, not cool, not cool. And I'm like, what? What's going on? And then 20 minutes later,
yeah,
it's all going crazy. Do you mind if I turn you to the peeps? Even though you won't see anybody, but they see you.
They're there.
They're there. Here, I have to get my little square. Oh, I guess it's good up there. So what's been going on? What did you have for lunch today?
I had a fish sandwich. I was running around doing some work today, so I was out and about for most of the day. Then I had two Zoom meetings this morning with the city and other stuff, and then work, and then back home.
What do you think of the Zoom meetings?
They're not as efficient as face-to-face, but you get used to it.
And do you even have the meeting, the Monday night meeting? What is it, or Tuesday?
Yeah, the city commission meetings, they're on Zoom concept also.
And are you good at it? Like, do you know how to do all the tricks to it and stuff?
We're getting better. I now know to hit the visual if I want to leave the room for a minute.
Right. And take your microphone off, maybe.
Yes, I've been learning little tricks to stay in touch, but not all the time.
That's cool. So, what is happening in St. Joe? Do you mind talking about it a little bit?
Well, actually, there's some big things coming up that City Hall is working on. 2 weeks ago, John Hodgins and
Drove
I
by his house today also.
we started talking about the concern for our small businesses, the bricks and mortar businesses, the single ownership, and what we can do for them, both on emotional support, but also marketing support. So we've had several meetings with John, myself, Amy from Tourist Council, Millicent from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council. Amy from St. Joe today, Millicent from the Tourist Council, along with Arthur Havlicek from the Cornerstone Chamber, and Dave Holt and Patrick Bossy from Holt Bossy, and what we can do. So Monday night we're going to start rolling out what we're doing for our small businesses.
How exciting.
And we want to have a plan in place so that we can activate it the day that businesses are released to go back to work.
Which right now is?
They're shooting for the 28th.
28th of this month.
But it's really going to be virtual technology. We're creating go online. You can see a virtual of the downtown. Possibly be able to even go into the stores. You can see the business owners, see what safety precautions they're taking, what they have in their stores, interact with people. So we're looking at doing all that all throughout town. We're also doing a band concert on Memorial Day.
Oh, good.
And we're looking at and also doing small concerts like four musicians at the corner of Broad and State Street, one each corner, so they could play or sing 6 feet apart, and put those up on YouTube. So we're trying to do a lot of things to engage the community, but also help support the community and show off the community to our visitors and our residents.
Beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's such a beautiful downtown. Well, it's a beautiful town, but it's picturesque. So I'm sure you'll be able to have. Does this mean when you say virtual shopping? So there will be like film people, cameramen going in and shooting things in every storefront.
Yes, in other words, the city will provide the street virtual camera work, and you go all through. Then the stores, we're working this deal up where the stores can pay a little extra fee, and then they're allowed then to go. The funds can go. The cameraman can go inside their store. City funds cannot be used directly for a business, but we can use it for the downtown community. And we're also looking at. This is the first step, and then we want to also engage a little broader with our museums, like Curious Kids Museum, the Heritage Museum. Get those folks also engaged.
So that people, I've seen some museum tours right now. You can go to the Louvre and different things around the world and do a virtual tour.
Yeah, things like that, like I said, and then people can come buy online or come down and buy merchandise. But it's a way that we can show the small business owners that the city's behind you. We're supporting you the best we can, so they don't feel like they're out there all alone.
And what happens on the 28th? Do you know
right now,
yet?
if the 28th could be the day that restaurants and retail shops are opened under safe guidelines. That's the key. And that's where Arthur Havlicek from the Cornerstone Chamber has come up with a great idea of marketing of a safe, Be Safe Southwest Michigan logo and a code that business owners will follow for their employees, for the guests, to provide a safe environment for the customers. Right,
and I Karen just reminded me the Krazel in the Box factory, of course.
Yes. So that way we can engage with all of them, because we need to support all those groups.
What do I ask? So restaurants, for instance.
Yeah.
Will they be allowed X percentage of people can go in at one time? And then social distancing. Did you see tonight I can't remember, somewhere in Germany or Denmark, they're having people wear pool noodles.
No, I haven't seen that.
There's a couple things that I've checked out. So pool noodles, so that they keep them socially distanced from each other. And I don't know if you saw what I posted, but in Berkeley, California, they're closing down the streets, the downtown streets, and they're opening up the streets to the restaurants.
Yep, and that is a concept we've heard about from some of our restaurant owners, retailers. Exactly how that would work out, we don't know, but at this time, we are looking into things of that sort.
I mean, I think Main Street or downtown State Street would be a great walking street, yes?
Well, we don't know because then that would just give you, for driving, all you'd have is Main Street and Lake Boulevard. And so you'd isolate.
Right.
But say,
that's why he's the mayor.
Just spitballing, say we're able to open up our parking lots. Say we take a parking lot and we use that parking lot for multiple restaurants that you can see. In other words, maybe each restaurant has 10 tables, and you can order online. The restaurant will bring the food to you, or any. We're just looking at all kinds of ideas. Again, spitballing ideas of how we can increase the footprint by using public space for restaurants and retail.
Can I ask you? I know. Well, basically everything is been canceled. Public. Art fair, my favorite holiday of the year. What about farmers market?
We're working with St. Joe today on that. Farmers market, and again, we're just spitballing ideas at this time, but say you extend the farmers market down Lake Boulevard.
Ooh, spread it out. Okay.
Spread it out.
Right.
And also what we would do, an idea is one-way traffic on the sidewalk, and then the other traffic would be on the grass. Like between the grass between a sidewalk and a street would be one way, sidewalk would be the other way. So trying to figure out the one way in, one way out situation. So we don't want to cancel that right now until we want to be able to work that out, because it's really important for our community for fresh food and to support our farmers. So that's something we're still looking at.
I know, again, in the Bay Area, because I'm interested in what's happening there, and many of the farmers markets never canceled there, but they do things like you said, one way in, and social distancing. Everyone's wearing masks, no samples. You know how you always go up and go, ooh, I want to taste, can I have a little taste of that hummus or peaches or whatever? No samples, gloves, masks, and they're only letting so many people in per square, per area, I guess.
So so that's, at least we have a large space along Lake Boulevard and Lake Bluff Park, and say the booths are every 15 feet. There's the booth, or whatever that destination, that distance we determine, and we have signs up about social distancing, masks, all of that. So that one we're still hopeful on.
Is there any?
And we haven't canceled yet movies in the park. That's still, that we could. We had a couple of successful ones at Milton Park last year. It's a different venue there than down below the Bluff.
Oh, at Milton Park.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
We were laughing. Bring your mask, watch a movie at Milton Park, the 3 M's. And we start with a double feature. We'd have The Lone Ranger and Robin Hood. Okay.
Maybe Three Musketeers?
Something with masks. But again, and we would encourage families to sit as a family unit and maintain a 6-foot separation.
It's really, tonight, I mentioned earlier, I was at a quick, not the official, but a memorial connection together with for Jerry Catania tonight.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
it was really beautiful, and everyone was so, they wanted to, I wanted to hug Kathy. There's his partner there and his
Yep.
brother Bob, and everyone had masks.
Mm-hmm. What happened to Jerry?
He died.
I knew he passed away, but
days
was
ago.
it sudden or?
No, he'd been working for quite a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dorina, perhaps with mandatory masks, we can bring people closer together if we all have masks on. We don't need the 6-foot rule. I don't know. I think. What do you think?
The
And if anyone
reports
has any questions,
the reports we've heard is that you can still,
I think so.
it protects the other person protected, but you can still get it if they spray out or something. I don't know, but I think that the mask to me is more of a sign that I care about the people around me. This is a serious issue, so I'm following the rules. I don't want to be flippant about it. I don't want to endanger my friends, my family, people I don't know. So it's more of an act of community, of kindness, of support by wearing a mask.
I think so. I have to say, I do wear a mask even when I go walking with Lillian. And Liz has seen me. I walk. Well, you've seen me.
I've seen the backyard.
I wear a mask.
Yeah.
I wear a mask by myself. I have a mask around me at all times. Here, I have one right here.
Yeah.
My mask.
No, I have confusion with people. People say that they're losing their civil liberties by being told to wear a mask.
Right.
You're told to only go 25 miles an hour down a road. You're told that you have to have a permit to do construction. You're told that you have all these rules are in place to prevent anarchy. So now, and the question is, just wear a mask for your safety and the people around you. I just don't get that idea of losing social liberty. I think it's more of an act of being a good neighbor.
A good neighbor. And like for me, and Mitch and we're there for Grace. This is the reason I am here and doing this is for my mom. So I am going to wear a mask. Yeah. And I'm going to wear a mask around anybody because I care.
Yeah.
And plus you can get some really cool masks.
A couple of times I'll see someone walking down the street with a mask on. I go, I think I know them.
Yeah.
But just from the eyes up.
Yeah, that was an interesting part about tonight because there were quite a few people there, and people, and it's interesting what you do know about someone. Like, oh yeah, I knew that was her because the way she walked, and
yeah,
I know that person because. But people have hats on. I wear a hat. I wear my glasses, this, and a scarf. And then sometimes I get into my house and I forget that I have my mask on. Lillian's looking at me like, Mom. But have you been traveling around different towns and seeing what other people are doing? And
well, I think a little bit, but not that much. We'll travel a few places to get some food. We like a few other locations. We've been doing, going out. We date every Saturday. We do date night.
Oh yeah.
We go out and get dinner, and we bring dinner back. So that's fun to do.
Where have you been?
Oh, we've been at Houndstooth, Bistro, Tozie's, Timothy's. We did DiMaggio's Pizza tonight.
We did DiMaggio's. My mom and Mitch had DiMaggio's Pizza. We picked one up today. And we did Mother's Day with the Bistro. So we had 7 people over here, and it worked out great. And you social distanced in the yard, or?
This is our grandkids, so we know we're in the house. We're all together.
Hey, we did a Mother's Day. We were in the garage.
Yeah. But something we've been doing, we've been taking hikes down around Chickaming Township.
Isn't there a path there?
Well, they have 3 3 or 4 areas of open land for the Chickamine Conservancy, and then there's a Chickamine the Township Park, which is 260 acres. Sure, she have Warren Woods, a couple other places we've gone to. It's been fabulous.
Yeah, it's nice back there. Now, do you wear a mask when you go walking around there?
We have a mask with us, but most of the times when we're out there, we're the only ones. So it's nice. We let the dogs run, but we have masks with us in case we see people. Then we bring the dogs back in with leash and put the masks on.
I get messages of people. So yeah, like that makes sense. I liked what Dorina said. Our older generations were asked to die for our country, and we're asked to wear a mask. You're asked to stay home for a month, and it's or however long. I mean, in certain areas in Los Angeles now, it's till July.
Yeah. No, it's I know a couple of people who've had COVID-19, and it's nasty. Mm-hmm. You know, people think it's the flu, nausea. No, it's the lungs. I mean, you can't breathe.
Can't breathe.
Yeah, that's it. And so it's not like something you've had before, unless you have had a lung illness.
As the mayor, did you, in the time when we were really, when, you know, like now there's a lot of activity. 3 weeks ago, were you at home most of the time?
Yeah. Yep, we were locked down. We would take a walk, but we didn't drive anywhere, didn't go anywhere.
But you weren't at the office?
No. Nope, we stayed home.
How was that?
We've had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
We've learned that we've lived in our house for 30 years, so we had a lot of little projects we could do. So Liz would walk in the morning, I would do some meetings online. Afternoon, we'd do our projects. Wine at 5, then dinner.
Oh. And then sunset.
And then sunset, maybe watch Ozark or a TV show.
Oh, yeah. What are you watching right now? What are you into?
We watched a little bit of Ozark. We watched World on Fire on PBS. Also, Baptiste on PBS. And now Hulu, Sunday night on Hulu, they start up Catherine the Great. And then for something really funky, we watched What We Do in the Shadows.
What's that?
It's like vampires meeting The Office TV show. It's on Hulu. It's quirky. It's British humor about vampires living on Staten Island.
How funny!
It's pretty cute.
And I was at your we were playing with the stick the other day and watching the sunset, and you guys were playing euchre.
Yeah, we did euchre online with another couple, and then we FaceTime tonight. We FaceTime with 2 other couples. We had cocktail time at 5:00 with 2 other couples on Zoom meetings.
How fun!
Just stay in touch.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
you're the first person I've talked to that true Michigan. You born and raised here in St. Joseph?
Yes.
Where did you grow up?
First over in Flanders, and then out in Scottsdale.
Oh, okay. Scottsdale and what?
We lived out in the ponds.
Uh-huh.
We were the 12th house out there. I thought we moved to Indiana. I was in the 5th grade.
Right.
I mean, let's just say at the bus we had a few folks in the ponds. Then we had the farm guys and girls, and everybody, the migrant workers. We were quite eclectic.
I grew up on we went from Colfax to John Beers and Tilly.
Oh, yeah.
So I went from, like, right here to talk about, like, Indiana. I didn't even know. I thought I was in another country.
No, when I was 14, this is a different time. I was 14, my brother's 12, and Mom allowed us to ride our bike into St. Joe.
From the ponds?
Yes. We ride our bikes into St. Joe and back.
How did you do that? Down M139? What did you do?
Yeah, down Niles Road.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a different time.
Yeah, Mitch used to do stuff like that. We used to walk from our house in Colfax over to downtown St. Joseph, but I don't think I walked. Yeah, well, mostly I snuck back in, kind of, sometimes.
Yeah.
But
no, it was But yeah, and back then we'd go out. I could do pheasant hunting. I just walk out the front yard,
Right.
100 yards to go pheasant hunting.
And then this is a question. Are they having the fair this year?
The Berrien
The
County
Berrien
Youth Fair.
County Youth Fair, is it still?
I have not heard either way.
Did you used to bring vegetables or arts and crafts to get into the fair? Do you remember
My
that?
dad sometimes for a while had a booth in the commercial building, and then my dad would go out and play golf, and my brother and I would have to attend to it.
Oh. So you're like, great, we get to go to the fair. Yeah, you're gonna be in the commercial building all day.
He'd drop us off, go play golf, and come back and get us.
That's funny. Did you and your brother both work for your dad?
Yes.
Was it your father's?
My grandfather, my great grandfather started it.
Wow. What year was that?
1913.
Gary Roofing.
Yep.
Same building?
No, he started up on the hill on Main Street, Benton Harbor. So there, then my grandfather lived. It was in his basement. He lived right next to now the Overflow Church on Napier. Mm-hmm. And then we had a building for a while down in St. Joe. Now we're a different location, but yeah, we've been around for a while.
How many? So 1913. So
Yep.
Your great grandfather probably had to have known my great grandfather.
Well, my dad knew your family for sure. Yeah. So it's, they're all Benton Harbor.
My great grandfather had a sandwich shop called the Atlas Sandwich Shop down in Benton Harbor. And then my grandfather built what is now the Chatterbox. He built that building, and that was Mamina's Bar.
Oh, sure. Bar and Grill, yeah. Where you'd cash the checks.
Right.
Yes. You still see in the back like a little bank teller area.
That was my mom and my grandmother. It was a little box, a little cage, and they would cash checks, sell lottery tickets, and my grandfather had Monday burgers, where on Fridays people were cashing their checks, right? Wanting to party, hang out. So the burgers were not small because they were never small, but he would hold back a little bit. And then on Monday, nobody, they didn't have any money because they partied over the weekend. The burgers would be just a little bit bigger, and he would, he always had fruit and vegetables that he was handing out to people, and they did some, a different generation. But
right next to it is all industrial right next to it.
Right. So Mamina's Bar was, I used to help them wrap, all it was wax paper, and he would write on what it was. There were no plates. There were chips and burgers and orange crush and
knee-high soda.
Yep.
Well, we used to go, when I worked in high school on the roofing crew, sometimes they stopped in at Grand Crossing. And first time I went in there, I looked around and there were several tables. And they had a hamburger there, and a shot, and a beer.
Yeah.
And suddenly, folks from Well McLean or other industries come in, they just 15 minutes, they eat a burger, shot, and a beer, they'd be gone. They would just pay on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, that was what was such a great way for us to grow up, because we saw everything. We saw. I know the prostitutes in Benton Harbor when I was a kid, and I knew the president of Whirlpool and Clark Equipment, and these were my mom's friends, and my dad worked at Whirlpool, and so there was no class, there was no color, there was just we were just brought up.
There were no gated communities.
No, there weren't. There wasn't even there was a ponds. Now that I know you were living there, I went to LMC in 8th grade, and I lived out, where we did. So from Benton Harbor, where St. John's was, LMC, we would take the bus over to the ponds.
Okay.
And they would go there before. There was one, I think, the Kinneys lived in the ponds.
Yes. The Kinneys lived 3 homes down, 3 houses down from where I grew up.
So they were there.
Yeah.
And
Palmers, Goodmans, Bailiffs.
Mark Southland's family.
Oh, yes. They're just right in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Roaring, and yeah.
Oh, Palmer.
Palmer.
Scott Palmer.
Scott, yeah, they're up front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penny.
And we used to play hockey in the ponds, and yeah, you lived outdoors.
Yeah.
But until I got my driver's license, that was your world, because no one's going to be taking you all the way in town. Now, if I had to drive south, if I had to drive out to the ponds, it's like, oh my God, do I bring water and food with me?
Right.
How long is this drive out here?
And then if you're on a bus and you're 7, or no, I guess I wasn't 7. I'm exaggerating now. I was on the bus. I was 12, and if Jackie wasn't on the bus, there was one other kid, and I can't think of his name, and there would just be that one person. I'm like, why do we have to go all the way? Can't they just drop him off right at the street?
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, the little thing. Was that actually a bus stall?
Yeah,
right
and
there?
that's back in the day. Yeah, that's the bus never went back on the streets. You had to walk there.
Yeah, well, when you went to LMC, they dropped you off at your house, and then they went over to my house.
Oh, you're soft. You're soft.
I know, but then I would sometimes get out at the subdivision and then walk home.
Yeah. Sometimes I'd get out by Jet Skis, the old Ace Hardware, and Jet Skis grocery store, and just walk home versus riding the bus.
My dad was a big Ace Hardware fan.
Okay, yeah.
That original Ace Hardware?
It was Hobby Nelson first, and then the Bories bought it. And then, of course, it burned down.
I watched it burn down.
You did? Yeah.
Yes. My dad came home every Saturday. That's what we did. We would go to Ace Hardware. And even our dog, Lady, my dad would jingle his keys, and Lady would be, we're going to Ace Hardware. And we would go to Ace Hardware. And one day he came home and he said, Ace Hardware is burning down. What? What do you mean? That was like my dad's man cave was Ace Hardware. Yep. And we went and we stood there for hours. Well, probably 45 minutes.
Yeah, and you were out in the country then.
Yeah, and then when they built the Y, and now that's.
But do you remember in the it'd be this time of the year, the smudge pots? You'd go out to the bus, and the sky would be black, and about 10 feet above your head would be this heavy, oily cloud from the smudge pots that we would put out, and you had to go. You'd have a Jeep and go by and keep lighting these, and they're just burning kerosene to keep the temperature up for the fruit trees and the grapes.
Well, when we were kids, I remember this is bad, you guys, when the crop dusters would come through.
Oh, I never see that.
We'd run outside, when they were spraying some toxic stuff, and we're like, ooh, there's the plane. One time.
Cloud.
What? Say that again?
No, he's playing the clouds. Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
No.
Yeah, the Ports lived in the ponds, I think.
Yes, they're right across the pond from us. Yeah, Jackport. It was a fun area. A lot of kids are out there. But I guess when we first moved there, we were only 12 homes.
Did your father, did you build your home?
Carol Ott built the house for us. Yeah, and we had a great time there. We'd have these little boats. We'd play in the ponds. We'd hunt frogs, go fishing, swimming in the ponds. God, we'd get suckers stuck to our legs sometimes, just burn them off. And then we go out in the woods, we go out in the fields pheasant hunting.
Yeah. I used to walk in all the woods on Scottdale and Marquette. Can you explain to Dorina what a smudge pot is?
A smudge pot is it's like similar to what you see right now, like outdoor restaurants to keep you warm. Except it's shorter, and you would fill it with kerosene, and you'd set them out in your orchards. So you light the smudge pot, and they would burn. The kerosene would burn to keep the temperatures above freezing for the grapes and for the fruit trees. And sometimes you'd just be out there in a friend's Jeep at 2 o'clock in the morning with a long, basically a blowtorch, lighting the smudge pots. Not the healthiest thing to do, but that's how they would protect the fruit against the frost and against the freeze.
See, Doreen's a city gal. She didn't grow up in that stuff. Well, I grew up right on that corner, and I went to Hollywood School and would walk to school with the kids that were only there, their parents were working on the farms, and they would only be there till November. And yeah, I remember the smudge pots.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, yo. Oh, now she gets it. Now she knows. She's a relative of Jerry, so that's why I saw her tonight. She invited me because I'd read about it on Facebook, and then of course the day went by. But is there anything else in St. Joseph that we need to know about?
No, we're just trying to make it a safe environment for everybody. The city's still providing all the essential services. We're just disappointed that a lot of things have been canceled. It's one of those things that we have to do what's right for the public, and you just can't allow people to congregate in open spaces right now until legally you can do it. It's just hard, but I think for the most part, people are obeying the laws, people being respectful, but you're always going to have those 10% knuckleheads that don't care, and I think those folks, you just have to give them a pass once, or sometimes just say, you know what, you really should wear a mask. Just be polite about it. Don't be in their face. But it's what we have to do. It's not. You can say it's a sacrifice, but again, when you look back at sacrifices, if it was during World War II, other issues, this is minor. This is small potatoes.
Good heart. My friend Melanie she nailed it. She said, good mayor, good heart. You do. You have a really good heart. So Dorina wants to know, are there any limitations on people visiting from out of state or out of town in an attempt to reduce exposure to the virus? If so, how is that enforced?
It's one of those situations that you can't enforce it, but right now you have people moving back here from Florida, say. Mm-hmm. Well, all we're asking that your first time you're coming to a community, self-quarantine for 14 days. And because that time period, after 14 days, if you're good to go, you're good to go. Yeah. That's all we ask, is self-quarantine for 14 days.
My mom had an appointment today at Lakeland, a scheduled appointment, and in the office that she was in, they had big X's. Well, first of all, when you go into Lakeland, they have a table set up with a shield, and at first I had to get permission to go with her, which I thought was great. They were like, sorry, you can't go in. They give you a sticker and you put it on, and then they went back to see if it was okay that I went with her. And then in the waiting room of the office we were in, 6 chairs, X's, and then there would be a chair. So they're scheduling so that there was, and I think maybe I saw one other person waiting, but we were, here and here, and yeah.
Yeah. One other thing we're working with 16 other communities on is the food inequity that's happening. How we can work a better system of providing people who need food, both food and nutritional food, how we do a better system with that, because that's something I didn't think about 2 months ago. But now it's an impact in our area. When you look at unemployment numbers, the stress. So we're working on those issues too.
My friend Julie just asked, what if you are visiting for less than 14 days?
I would, if you're visiting for like 10 days, someone's house, just do the right thing. If you're going to go out, wear the mask, wear everything, be respectful. I mean, a lot of it is just being conservative. And if you want to visit someone for a week, we went to Oklahoma City 2 weeks ago, and we packed food and everything. We drove straight through. We just stopped off to get gas or a restroom at truck stops where we were masks, hand wash, cleaning, gloves, everything. And we went to our daughter and son-in-law's house. We never left the house, and we drove straight back.
What was it like in the gas stations and the truck stops? Were there?
The truck stops are very good. They're cleaning all the time. Everybody had masks on, and we wore masks. We were hand sanitizing, and we did make sure 6 feet of separation. So it was not. It was fine for us. And again, we got to Oklahoma City. We never left their neighborhood, so we spent time with our granddaughter, which was fun.
How old is she?
18 months.
Oh, no wonder you drove to Oklahoma City, and you probably just like drove. You're like, forget it, just keep driving. 18
Yep.
months, how fun. How many grandchildren do you have?
We have 5, 4 here in town and 1 in Oklahoma City.
Fun. Yeah, the mayor is a fine man.
Well, thank you. It's a good time.
You are. Well, I appreciate you being here again, and I hope that it's okay. I'm going to invite you back on another time.
Yeah,
And,
anytime at all. It's any questions you may have. There's no thing as a silly question.
and are you back in the office now?
Yeah, we're starting to get busy again. I'll go in the office in the mornings and check things out. We're not full strength yet. It's going to be a challenging year.
Yeah.
Because we do a lot of commercial industrial work. That's going to be slow, and homeowners. Well, everyone's concerned about what's next. Layoffs. Gas manufacturing. They had 2-week furlough. So it's going to be a challenging time. I feel that next spring it's going to turn around where it'll be a new normal. It'll be more open, and things should be. I don't know if they'll ever get back to the way they were before, but it'll be a better place than we are now.
And where are you in your mayoral time?
I'll finish up November next year. November 21 is what that'll be the end of it for me.
Oh, good. So we'll have you. You're here then through the new norm.
Through the new norm.
And then you're done.
Get back
Then
to the
you're
Blossom Parade.
then you're gonna go. And so that was so sad. You know what? I haven't seen the Blossom Parade for so long because I'm always in New Orleans for Jazz Fest, and I was walking around going, no wonder everyone. I mean, all these blossoms and beautiful flowers that were happening, and it was that weekend, and so many things you had to make decisions on. Wow.
Yeah, and it's too bad because like the Blossom Parade, there's always a big dinner that the mayor of Ben Harbor and myself, we host a big dinner. All the kings and queens and their families are there. We hand out gifts. We do that. And the communities, all the various communities all come together. They build floats. So there's a lot of, just not the event, it's the physical event itself. It's all the people that support or engage with that event that we miss.
For instance, 4th of July.
Yeah. No fireworks. And Baroda, they're canceling theirs. Yeah, there's no fireworks anywhere.
Yeah.
And the fireworks are made in China. And the firework companies, they also do sporting events. So they're cut out completely.
Wow.
So they got nothing going on.
So fireworks people are like musicians.
Yeah. they're shut off completely.
Well, I'm excited to see when do the concerts is there a concert this Sunday?
We're going to do a virtual concert on YouTube. We're going to have one for Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
Yep. We started that we did a small one for Mother's Day. I forgot how I think it's on the city website, but we want to start doing more of those through the summer. Doc Maley's working really hard on doing a better job at that. There's a company out of South Bend that works with them on it. So again, we just we're trying to bring some normalcy back into your lives.
I haven't heard symphony.
I haven't heard anything about the symphony. I haven't heard anything.
I saw Norma tonight, but it was not. Hey, what's happening with it? But
I think again, that's where, as we talk about the marketing of the downtown, these virtual tours, through that again, with the Box Factory, the crowds, we would be looking at the nonprofits, how we can roll them into the same message.
have you seen any deer in your backyard?
Oh, we saw 4 2 nights ago.
They're just. I've seen them around here. They're just hanging out. They're like,
yeah.
What's happening?
They're chilling.
They are. What about coyotes.
No coyotes. Liz saw a fox the other day when she was handing out food over there by the United Way building. And we thought we lost 2 little bunnies, but we came back today.
I've seen those bunnies back there.
And then we have we have Harry and Eleanor have returned. We have bats in the backyard, which at sunset start eating mosquitoes. You'll see them flying around in the sunset.
Well, they've said, I know somewhere in Michigan, a fox, Lillian's tiny. And, no, not the fox, the eagles. Oh, because there are now more bald eagles?
Yeah, okay.
They can...
They'll get the dog.
They can pick up dogs, and I know a woman in California that she didn't invent it. I'm sure you can get it on wherever. I don't use that place, so I don't say it. But it's a spiked little coat, a little jacket for the dog.
Really?
So that...
Makes it look like a porcupine.
Yeah, but there are a lot of eagles around here now, and they pick up cute little animal dogs like Lily and Pearl.
It's called a circle of life.
That's scary. Maybe I'll get one of those jackets for her.
Or just have her wear really heavy boots so the eagle can't carry it away. Little cement boots.
She has little boots. She has little boots, but we lost one of them, and I found it a couple weeks ago after it's thawed. It was like more than. It seems like I've only been here for 2 weeks, and this is the longest I've been here since high school, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, just, the backyard's safe. We'll make sure we have no eagles.
Okay.
Maybe deer and rabbits, but no eagles.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you very much. Say hello to Liz, and
I will. Take care all, and have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys. Bye. They're cool people. Liz and I go walking, and yeah, Lillian and I go in their backyard because their backyard is great for sunsets. But my house is, I've never been here at this time of the year, but I can see the sunset right in my window. Through my window, it's right. The sunset's right. It's framed. Yeah, that was cool, huh? Thank you, Mayor. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Friday night. It's Friday, right? He's a good person, and his wife Liz is a very good friend of mine, and it's nice to have them. And they'll be back. I keep saying I want the 2 of them to be on, but so Dorina, this is why we need to get Gloria on, right? Gloria Weberg. She's 90. I thought she was. I'm like, how old are you, Gloria? Are you 92? She looked at me. She goes, 98. And I went, oh, yes, Gloria. Gloria. She could hear me from here if I yelled loud enough. She has a lovely home, and she grows sunflowers and beautiful garden every year. Thanks, you guys. Tomorrow night, Gary Lambert. One more Saturday night. One more Saturday night. Do, 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 do. Gary is online right now. And he'll talk about that tomorrow night. But we're going to talk about his mother tomorrow night. We were going to do that last week because it was Mother's Day, but we started talking about, Grateful Dead and stuff. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Yay, Gloria, Gloria, Gloria. Sometimes I just have to be quiet. And Lisa Mammina, I know. She's probably out in her garden. She's building this incredible, huge victory garden. But yes, Lisa, I might have to tag her in this and say, where's Waldo? Where's Lisa? Mm-hmm. So tomorrow, 11 a.m., we'll be chilling. Oh no, tomorrow, because today I couldn't do my usual Friday. Armando Ortega will be here tomorrow morning, and we'll hear about what his latest adventures with Snowy are, and Joaquin. And then tomorrow night, and then Sunday night, Cookie Marinkle will be here, who I've been making records with for over 20 years. And she's made records with lots of people, and it's really going to be fun talking. So thank you again for being here. I know. Oh, I know. Her garden, and they have horses, and Katie can ask, starting the whole cat things, and the coronavirus is starting to get big again. So we need to have Dr. Katie back on for a friendly reminder. I want to. She's just busy. As busy. She's busy. It really does look like thunder and lightning. It's my lighting effect. Lisa was a lighting designer in New York, so I got some of that. Great, wonderful ideas from the mayor. He's on it. You know, he makes it easy. He's calm, and he's just, Bill, be safe. I hope that it's just a thunderstorm and the rest of the winds just blow away and diminish. Right? Kind thoughts, peaceful words, and a loving heart, and a big hug. Everybody, big hug. Sweet dreams to you. Thank you. Good night. Let's go walking. Good. Tomorrow is going to be beautiful. That's my plan. Love hard.